name is Joe Padavina. I am the product manager over this initiative. Today I will be demoing two separate applications for you. The first one that you see here on the screen is the My PCS mobile application. This application is built specifically for airmen to manage their PCS process. The second application that I will be demoing is the PCS Express Salesforce application that is built specifically for technicians to manage the task templates as well as the task for the airmen. As you can see here, this is the landing page that you will arrive at when you open the application, assuming you have a new assignment available. I am currently demoing with Aaron Haas, and we have this fancy little thing down here at the bottom that kind of walks through the application for you. So this is all the different features of the application, such as PCS tracking, some automation built in, some orders on demand, the task list, and finally the availability of signing documents from your mobile phone. For this case, we're going to go ahead and look at your assignment. So today we have some lorem ipsum data in here. This will ultimately be the RIP data for the airmen when you receive a new assignment. You'll have the ability to contact whoever your POC may be for this RIP. And then down here at the bottom, you can see you can either accept this assignment or you can choose to not accept this assignment. Should you choose to not accept this assignment, we will basically provide the contact information of who you need to reach out to get further information. But for this scenario, we're going to go ahead and go with the happy path and go ahead and accept this assignment. After you accept the assignment, you will be brought to this page, which kind of walks you through the general process of a normal PCS. You'll have a new assignment, you'll have your orders, you'll have your out processing, and you'll have your in processing. To kick this process off, we ask you to fill out a questionnaire. So this is a whole bunch of information about yourself, such as verifying your name, your social security number, your date of birth, your DoD ID, your preferred contact information, as well as an emergency contact, who I'm going to go ahead and fill in here as myself. We are going to then ask you some additional details about your family. One of the things that we do is as you complete these sections, we go ahead and check those off for you so you know that you have completed those. We do have some dynamic information, such as if you say you are married, we were going to ask you further details about your marital status, such as is your spouse military, are they civilian DoD, and as you can see, the options are going to change under that. For this specific scenario, I'm going to go ahead and just say that I am single and that I have no dependents and no babies on the way. Once again, you can see that we automatically completed this section. Next up, we have housing. So where are you living at today? You can say that you live in the dorms. You can say that you live in base housing. You can say that you live off base. For this scenario, I'm going to say I live in the dorms and that I plan on living in the dorms at my new assignment. Next up, we ask some questions about your lifestyle. This is multiple choice, so I could say I have a motorcycle, I can say I have a pet, I can say that I am enrolled in an off-duty education program, or I can say that none of these apply to me. For this specific scenario, I'm going to go ahead and say I have a personal firearm as well as I have a motorcycle. And then lastly, we ask about your travel plans. So how are you getting to your new base? You can say I plan to drive personally owned vehicle, which we ask you how many personally owned vehicles are you driving. I plan to fly. How are you planning on getting there via a flight? Are you taking air travel, military air travel, or you don't know yet? Or are you taking a train? For this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and say that I haven't figured that out yet. And then lastly, tell us about your en route plans. Are you planning on taking TDY or leave? And I'm just going to say I don't have any leave plans. All right, that takes us into order. So as you can see now, I have completed my new assignment, and I am into the orders stage. You can see we now have 2 open tasks after a quick refresh of the app. All right, so those tasks, one of those is assigned to base security, and one of those is an MPF task. You can sort these tasks on different ways. You can sort them on status, priority, and base or unit tasks. And as you can see, we have 2 tasks that are currently in to do. We can also view the details of those tasks. So one of those is provide your firearm information. If you remember, when I entered the questionnaire, I said that I had a firearm. So one of those tasks is to provide my firearm information. For now, we just have simple lorem ipsum text in here, but as you can see, you'll be able to upload files to prove your firearm, as well as be able to enter some information in other tasks. Down here, you see we have a chat icon. The idea here is that at some point you will be able to chat with your POC for this specific task. Should you not understand the requirements, you can go ahead and chat with them and get further clarification. For this one, we're going to go with the happy path and just submit. And as you can see, that moved into pending state. The next task that I will show you is confirm rank with the technician. And for this one as well, we're just going to go ahead and submit that. All right, so now as you can see, both of these tasks are pending. And since they are out of our control, what we can go ahead and do is continue on to out processing, because we have completed all of our tasks for getting our orders. So we will go ahead and continue on to out processing. Once we get to out processing, you see there's 2 additional tasks that I can now work on. And one of those is check out with your door manager, and one of those is arrange transport a motorcycle with the TMO. So if you recall, when I was going through the questionnaire, I said that I had a motorcycle. For this one, we're going to go ahead and just click through these so I don't bore you with the same information over again. And now I will show you the 3 different states. So as you can see, we have completed your new assignment. We are currently waiting on the technician to complete our orders phase. And we have in process on our out processing step. And then lastly, we can continue on to in processing, which we haven't begun yet. So I will go ahead and continue on to our in processing. And close that one out. And as you can see, I am completely done with all of the tasks that I need to complete. For the next step, I will go ahead and show you the PCS Express Salesforce application. You have seen the My PCS mobile application specifically for the airmen and seen the magic that happens there. I'm going to go ahead and show you the PCS Express, the technology behind the magic. So what you're seeing here is the PCS Express application within Salesforce. As you can see, we have many tiles. After tons of user research, we came up with these tiles based on that feedback. So as you can see, we have all different tiles depending on the phases that a user may be in or an airman may be in. We have an outbound member list, which kind of tells you a little bit about where they're at in the process and a little bit about the individual. And then we have specific base individuals as well, who's leaving this base. Back up at the top, you can see I'm currently on the out processing tab. We also have an in processing tab. Over here on the in processing tab, you'll see a similar layout of all the individual tiles, depending on the steps or the phases that the individual is in. As well as the members that are inbound to this base. So for this specific scenario, What I'm going to show you is a couple of things. As you can see here, we have Aaron, who was the person from the MyPCS mobile application that was currently out processing. If I click into him, what it will show you is a beautiful view of his profile and where he is at in the process. So this gives you quite a bit of information. You can see he's completed his assignment. He's completed his questionnaire, and he's currently at the get orders phase. If you remember when I was filling out the mobile application steps, that he completed all of his individual action items, and now is currently on the technician to complete theirs. This could be one technician or many technicians, depending on the task that the individual has. You can see the questions that were answered, as well as the tasks that are assigned to these individuals. So over here you see the orders prerequisite tasks, and I'm able to go ahead and actually complete these tasks from this dashboard. Likewise, if I show you the main dashboard, you can go ahead and click into these individuals and complete these tasks. So you can see here it's Aaron on the out processing task list. You can see those tasks as well for the out processing of the Hanscom base. So I'm going to go ahead and complete these just to show you what that looks like. A couple different ways to complete these. One is from the main dashboard. The other is to actually go look at the task. So if Aaron had entered some information in the task, you would see that information in here. So you could see, the task details, and if they had uploaded a document, anything like that, you'd be able to see in here. We're going to go ahead and mark this as done from this view and continue on and mark all of these tasks as done. That would essentially complete his out processing. Once he has completed all of those, you no longer see Aaron in this step, and he would be completed without processing. Likewise, there are some additional requirements, such as a member has to be notified within 7 days of when they receive a new assignment. We would like to automate this step, but we were told that this cannot be automated at this point, so it's a manual step where somebody has to come in and enter an actual date that they contacted them about their new assignment. One thing to note is on the 7th day, if they have not entered a date, we will automatically notify the individual. So we'll go ahead and enter that the Aaron has been contacted already. And now you can see this has gone down to 32. He would then move over to orders need generating, and orders pending approval, and orders pending authentication. So all of those are working as you would expect. You have to enter a date on each one of those in order to move them to the next phase. One final thing I wanted to show you in the PCS Express application is the admin panel. So this is really where the magic happens. The idea here is that a technician would be able to come in. They would be able to enter specific details about a task that are triggered upon certain criteria. So for example, I can say specifically that this is an orders prerequisite task, that this is an in-processing task, or an out-processing task. I can also state whether this is a base task or a unit task. As you see here, when I selected out processing, it gave me some additional options. So I can say that the task can be started before the member receives their orders, or cannot be started. So as you can see, we have some restrictions built in from the technician stance. Likewise, we ask roughly, when it's due, and also if it has to be done before final out or after their final out. Lastly, I'll show you the conditions here. So right now we've built some very basic for this demo purpose. This will be a task that the member needs to take when they say that they own a firearm, and if the value is yes, they will have to complete this task. So I would say they need to verify their firearm. Firearm is valid in a new state. And I could add a description as well. I could save that, and then what would happen is when the airman was going through the questionnaire, if they met all this criteria, this task would trigger. And that concludes the demo for PCS Express.